I needed to learn something new. I did it by myself. I'll soon show you how Obsidian helped me with this, how I'm doing things there. But before that, I'd like to have a conversation about learning and this new way of learning. Uh, this, YouTube, and other things. Uh, I don't know about you, but when I'm learning something new, I have these stages. The first thing I usually do is try to get exposed to as many sources of that information as possible. In today's world, that means YouTube or articles. I don't know. So I don't try to learn anything on social media, but there are forums and there are many places where I start reading and try to understand that. And this first moment is it's so hard because there are all these new words, all these new situations, everything that you don't know about, and I feel like I'm just observing all that information to learn the language. And then there's that click moment. In my case, that click moment happens more than once. The first click moment is when I finally understand how to read things. That's so cool because okay, now I understand the language, the basics, and I can start reading this, can start a conversation, can start interacting with other people, asking the right questions. And then at some point, it like magic, you understand it. But that's also just the first step because you will never understand everything about anything. So you'll keep learning and learning and learning. We are talking about CSS. Don't worry, don't if you don't know what that is, don't worry. It doesn't matter for today's video. But CSS is a way to make our websites look better. Sorry, CSS experts, if I didn't do a good job explaining it, but it's a way to make it more beautiful, if you will. And I needed that to make some changes to my blog, and that's why I started learning it, and that's why I spent a lot of days doing it, some days late in the morning. No, not late in the morning, until like one in the morning. Uh, and now that I can understand what I'm trying to learn, I created, not now, but a few days ago, I created this uh, space in Obsidian. If you are following my progress on restructuring my Obsidian, you already kind of know what this is. This was my maker's dashboard, and I'm calling it my neural network. And I'm trying to connect everything that I'm learning here because it's a much better way. So let me show you. For example, what I told you I'm learning is CSS. So everything I'm learning is, let's open this here, is a node here, and I'm putting the nodes together according to what they are related to. So don't worry about the topic. And connecting things, for example, there is HTML. That is another way to build, not another way, the way the sites are built, but there is a connection to CSS. For people who know what it is the div tag. So this is a connection. And then there's my website here, the page that I'm currently changing on my website, and my website is hosted in microblog. And talking about that, and talking about this process, one thing that I found really strange, and here's a question for you too, is I don't know if this is the topic or if it is related to what I was just talking about, the learning, the language, learning how to. And when I'm saying language here, I'm not saying the programming language. I'm talking about learning the language of whatever you are learning about. So because everything has its terms and the way that people talk about that topic. So what I found strange is that there's this lack of videos about the very basic. And when I say basic, it's not the beginning, because you can read an article, you can read a manual, but some basic connections. People explain things, even the videos for beginners. They explain things. They miss parts. The videos miss parts that would connect for a person. In my case, like I was learning something completely new. Those small details, they make a lot of difference, and it it feels like the person explaining doesn't see that as important, or maybe it doesn't talk about it because it's so basic. And my question is, uh, do you feel like that when you're watching my tutorials? Do I jump parts that don't connect? I don't publish a lot of tutorials here on the channel, but I do publish a good number of them. And I start thinking about that. Do I explain things in a way that I connect all the dots? But then I also start thinking about, and what about everybody that already knows that? Should I be explaining things in so much detail? It's so hard. Anyway, today's video is kind of okay. Let's go back here. So what I'm trying to do here is group everything that is similar. So I have here HTML5, and I'm doing the same thing. So I have this, there are this new tags that I didn't know existed that I'm learning now. And here is CSS. Again, my blog, and the changes I'm doing to my blog, they are here. And when I started doing this, the first thing I thought it would be better would be to remove the icons from inside the boxes and make them bigger, the logos. So this is another thing I'm doing. And I'm also trying to group things that are related to each other. For example, this is about writing. This is about writing. This is Scrivener, the software that I use to write books. This is about writing, is Markdown. And here, down here, there is the supernode. I don't have anything yet here because I'm building this dashboard here as I go. Back here, my past. These are things from the past, the Palm things that I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna keep it there. But here, for example, another thing that I don't know what to do, but it is related to this guys here, because this is, I showed this in another video. This is how to build a network cable, and this is the OpenDNS numbers. So if I need them, whoops, it's here, and it's related to internet. So this is what I'm trying to do, and I think it's pretty cool. Oh, and there is OBS here, which is a software to record video. So I'm already organizing this space here to start moving things to here. Now, everything is coming from here, the knowledge base folder that I also have to reorganize. When I imported this to Obsidian, I needed a way to find the information. So that's why I created the subfolders and added each topic inside a folder. But I don't like this idea. I think this is a terrible way of organizing things, because there are many things that are related to each other. And I think the best way to do it is by using tags, because then I can tag something with different topics and find that information. It doesn't matter where it is. But because there's no way to tag an image, a PDF, and many other types of files on Obsidian, I needed a way to know what all these documents were about and have them organized until I figure out a way to do it. So now I think I'm getting there. So all this process of creating the timeline structure is giving me some ideas, but this here will definitely not stay like it is. And I think the canvas will help me with the problem that I'm having with the files, because if I can see the files here, at least the images, if I can see them here, it's okay to move them to the files folder. So I have to also experiment with PDFs and other files here to see if I can. Don't worry about the not being able to filter, because if I can group this here in a way that things uh, are close together, it's okay. I won't need to filter at least the files that cannot where I cannot use tags. I don't know if I'm making myself here understandable, but the idea is to map everything here. So again, this is a video that is not a solution. It's more a conversation and exposing ideas and having this conversation with you to share my thoughts and also listen to your ideas. But I'm really enjoying this, and I think this will end up becoming a very interesting visual representation of everything I do. I don't know if this video was helpful, but if it was, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you soon.